Obsolete.
No longer used, out of date. Antiquated. Outdated. Ancient. With technological development, many traditional skills have become obsolete.
Deteriorate.
Become progressively worse. Worsen. Weaken. Go backwards. There are fears that the situation might deteriorate into a full-scale war.
Forgery.
An illegal copy of a document or painting. Imitation. Replica. Counterfeit. The local prosecutor has been investigating the case of document forgery.
Susceptible.
Easily influenced or affected by something. Gullible. Credulous. Impressionable. Some dogs are thought to be genetically susceptible to the disease.
Compelling.
Arousing or denoting strong interest. Captivating. Exciting. Persuasive. There is no logically compelling argument to support your claims.
Rejuvenate.
To make something successful again. Regenerate. Refresh. Reorganize. We can rejuvenate ourselves by performing physical exercises each day.
Abolish.
Officially get rid of law or system. Annihilate. Obliterate. Eliminate. Many people had been killed to abolish slavery during the Civil War.
Dogmatic.
Showing opinion in an arrogant manner. Adamant. Prejudiced. Emphatic. There is a danger of becoming too dogmatic about religious instructions.
Exacerbate.
To make an existing problem worse. Aggravate. Intensify. Worsen. The current policy made by the government might exacerbate the problem.
Full-fledged.
Completely developed or established. Full-blown. Matured. Full-grown. My sister had now passed her bar exams and was a full-fledged lawyer.
Subsidize.
Support an organization or activity financially. Capitalize. Finance. Contribute. Experts think that private businesses should not be subsidized by taxpayers.
Agony.
Extreme physical or mental suffering. Torment. Affliction. Torture. When his mother died, he was in emotional agony for months.
Obituary.
The notice of someone's death. Epitaph. Engraving. Eulogy. The missing woman's obituary notice had appeared in the newspaper.
Profound.
Showing a clear and deep understanding. Intellectual. Thoughtful. Insightful. Despite the decay, the old castle somehow retained a profound grandeur.
Ameliorate.
Improve something, or make it less severe. Enhance. Improve. Alleviate. Nothing can be done to ameliorate the situations that have passed.
Forensic.
Related to scientific methods of solving crimes. Judiciary. Official. Scientific. Forensic experts have been searching the area for clues of the murder.
Amenities.
Facilities that provided convenience and enjoyment. Comforts. Advantages. Benefits. The theme park offers a subtle blend of traditional charm with modern amenities.
Vigilant.
Keeping careful watch for possible danger. Attentive. Watchful. Concentrating. Environmentalists are ever vigilant for threats to the habitats of birds.
Consolidate.
To strengthen the position of power or success. Strengthen. Accentuate. Incorporate. The two companies in this city will consolidate and form a single large company.
Trend.
A prevailing tendency or inclination. Fashion. Tendency. Vogue. Lately, there has been a trend toward hiring younger and cheaper employees.
Endorsement.
A kind of public support or approval. Authorization. Sanction. Validation. We're pleased that the project has received government endorsement.
Prioritize.
Treat something as more important than other things. Underline. Focus on. Emphasize. We need to prioritize our health and well-being over any other things.
Extinct.
No longer in existence or use. Vanished. Deceased. Terminated. Insects are in danger of becoming extinct as their forest habitat disappears.
Specimen.
Something shows as an example. Prototype. Embodiment. Model. Archaeologists were thrilled to discover a preserved specimen of Roman pottery.
Lesson.
Make something smaller in amount or degree. Minimize. Abate. Curtail. Several drugs are used to lessen the severity of the virus symptoms.
Hubris.
Exaggerated pride, or an arrogant self-confidence. Haughtiness. Pompousness. Vanity. Hubris leads to the downfall of many celebrities and politicians.
Dilemma.
Situation when you must make difficult decision. Perplexity. Conundrum. Quandary. He was in a dilemma of whether or not to return to his country.
Harness.
Control, especially to produce energy. Utilize. Manipulate. Maneuver. We can harness the power of the sun to generate electricity at a cheap cost.
Resilient.
Become strong after a difficult situation. Flexible. Enduring. Steadfast. The community was highly spirited and resilient despite a hurricane disaster.
Symbiotic.
Having an interdependent relationship. Synergetic. Collaborative. Harmonious. A relationship where both people benefit from each other is a symbiotic one.
Salient.
Most noticeable or important things. Primary. Leading. Vital. The article presented the salient facts of human evolution and history.
Hereditary.
Passed from parent to child in genes. Congenital. Intrinsic. Inborn. Because of my heredity, I have my mother's green eyes and my father's red hair.
Collapse.
To break apart suddenly. Crash. Breakdown. Crumbling. The unexpected flooding on the coast caused the collapse of many buildings.
Consecutive.
Following one after the other in order. Succeeding. Continuous. Following. The birth rate has fallen again for the 5th consecutive year worldwide.
Innovative.
Introducing or using new ideas or methods. Creative. Pioneering. State of the art. The Tesla company manufactures a range of innovative electric vehicles.
Maneuver.
To handle something carefully, skillful way. Movement. Execution. Action. All the combatants landed safely at the airport after the military maneuver.
Parallel.
To be similar to something. Alongside. Analogous. Side by side. The weather pattern of the southern region has no parallel in the north.
Numerous.
Consisting of many units or parts. Countless. Innumerable. Copious. The conservationists gave numerous examples of animals that went extinct.
Exaggeration.
Making it seem more important than it is. Overemphasis. Boasting. Overstating. It is no exaggeration to say that everyone will be affected by global warming.
Ironic.
Contrary of what is expressed. Sarcastic. Mocking. Contemptuous. It is ironic that the most trustworthy character turned out to be the thief.
Hype.
Extravagant, or intensive publicity. Propaganda. Exposure. Publicity. These advertisements are promoted by publishers and hyped in the business press.
Intimidating.
Making someone feels frightened or nervous. Frightening. Fearsome. Shocking. The opponent was extremely intimidating to the young basketball team.
Lenient.
Not as strict or severe as expected. Tolerant. Forbearing. Generous. In school, marking criteria has become more lenient in recent years.
Jeopardies.
To put at risk or pose a threat. Danger. Hazards. Imperilments. Foolish behavior may jeopardize a person's whole professional career.
Remuneration.
The amount of money paid to an employee. Salary. Compensation. Earnings. Employees have experienced a decline in remuneration packages during the recession.
Emerging.
Just beginning to exist, or developing. Growing. Developing. Evolving. The emerging science of technology has really changed our day-to-day life.
Pragmatic.
Practical, especially when making decisions. Realistic. Sensible. Reasonable. The pragmatic approach to problems is more successful than an idealistic one.
Turmoil.
A state of great disturbance. Commotion. Uproar. Instability. The stock exchange is in turmoil following a huge surge in the transaction.
Manipulate.
To manage or influence skillfully. Negotiate. Maneuver. Cope with. As a veteran public leader, he knows how to manipulate public opinion.
Antagonist.
A person who opposes another person. Contender. Adversary. Competitor. The hero has been killed by the antagonist at the end of the movie.
Apathy.
An absence of emotion or enthusiasm. Dispassion. Aloofness. Indifference. Authoritarian management often leads to apathy in the workforce.
Diversity.
State of having many different forms. Multiplicity. Manifoldness. Range. This environment adequately reflects the ethnic and cultural diversity of the country.
Aesthetic.
Concerned with beauty and appreciation. Artistic. Ornamental. Decorative. The benefits of becoming an artist are both profitable and aesthetic.
Extravagant.
Spending much more than is necessary. Wasteful. Indulgent. Squandering. It would be very extravagant of us to buy products that are out of season.
Scrutiny.
Critical observation or examination. Inspection. Analysis. Survey. Careful scrutiny of the justice system revealed a whole series of errors.
Poaching.
The illegal hunting of wild animals. Killing illegally. Hunting. Intruding. Poaching has become a lucrative and profitable profession for many people.
Majestic.
Having or showing impressive beauty. Grand. Magnificent. Glorious. This small island and its crystal clear water are surrounded by majestic mountains.
Prolific.
Producing a great number or amount. Abundant. Productive. Teeming. She was probably the most prolific songwriter of her generation.
Latent.
Existing but not yet developed, or manifest. Lurking. Inherent. Dormant. The detectives have to make sure of the latent fingerprints of criminals.
Perception.
Becoming aware of something through the senses. Conception. Understanding. Thought. There is a general public perception that standards in schools are falling.
Subjugate.
To defeat and gain control of something. Conquer. Dominate. Oppress. Working women are more productive people in society, and are less subjugated.
Violation.
Action that breaks law, agreement, or principle. Offense. Trespass. Breach. The attack on civilians is a deliberate violation of the peace agreement.
Relentless.
Continuing without becoming weaker. Constant. Endless. Unstoppable. The pristine island is being destroyed by the relentless march of tourism.
Excruciating.
Causing great pain, or unpleasant experience. Agonizing. Sever. Tormenting. The work of curing a disease involved excruciating pain, again and again.
Dormant.
Temporarily inactive or inoperative. Inert. Latent. Sleeping. The virus generally remains dormant in nerve tissue until activated.
Plethora.
A very large amount of something. Superfluity. Abundance. Profusion. The plethora of guidelines and directions are both contradictory and confusing.
Solitary.
Done alone, without other people. Isolated. Lonely. Withdrawn. In the natural world, there are some solitary creatures that need special care.
Consensus.
A general agreement among people. Agreement. Concord. Harmony. The consensus among doctors is that a high-fat diet is bad for health.
Superstition.
A belief or practice resulting from ignorance. Myth. False belief. Misconception. The aid agency continues the battle against ignorance and superstition.
Amateur.
Someone doing something for enjoyment. Non-professional. Hobbits. Dabbler. After she won the amateur championship several times, she turned professional.
Surplus.
More than the amount that is needed. Superfluous. Extra. Excessive. Developed countries often dumped surplus goods into third world countries.
Appealing.
Something attractive or interesting. Tempting. Desirable. Alluring. The tourist spot offers an appealing combination of sporting and cultural events.
Repercussion.
The negative consequence of an action. Backlash. After effect. Outcome. The collapse of the national economy had repercussions for the whole industry.
Paramount.
More important than anything else. Foremost. Predominant. Highest. The health and well-being of all our children are of paramount importance.
Ecstasy.
A state of extreme happiness or pleasure. Euphoria. Elation. Exhilaration. Ecstasy use may be particularly dangerous for people who have heart problems.
Stereotypical.
Portraying a simplified conception or image. Unoriginal. Commonplace. Banal. Some critics challenge our stereotypical ideas about gender and femininity.
Substantiate.
Provide evidence to support the truth. Corroborate. Establish. Support. There is little scientific evidence to substantiate the extraterrestrial lives.
Genetic.
Relating to the science of genetics. Inherited. Genomic. Biological. Each person's genetic code is unique except in the case of identical twins.
Detrimental.
Causing harm or damage. Pernicious. Destructive. Adverse. These chemicals for agriculture have a detrimental impact on the environment.
Homogeneous.
Having qualities that are similar. Identical. Comparable. Uniform. The tradition and culture of the village have remained remarkably homogeneous.
Hyperbole.
Make something impressive, or overstating. Elaboration. Exaggeration. Coloring. We suppose using such hyperbole makes our boss feel good about himself.
Ingenuity.
The skill of thinking and performing. Creativity. Cleverness. Inventiveness. The program tested the ingenuity of even the most imaginative students.
Barren.
Producing little or no vegetation. Desolate. Unproductive. Sterile. In African continents, some deserts are actually more barren than others.
Asylum.
protection given by a government to someone. Shelter. Protection. Safety. Fewer than 6% of asylum seekers are accepted as political refugees.
Perseverance.
Continued effort to achieve something. Diligence. Commitment. Devotion. Perseverance is falling 9 times and succeeding the 10th.
Hierarchy.
Organizing people into different ranks. Ranking. Class system. Groping. A new management hierarchy was created within the regulatory board.
Privilege.
Special benefits available for a group of people. Advantage. Allowance. Benefit. Highly successful people usually do come from a very privileged backgrounds.
Hostile.
Unfriendly and ready to argue or fight. Unfriendly. Aggressive. Malevolent. The negative experience has made her generally hostile toward foreigners.
Threshold.
A limit at which an arrangement changes. Inception. Beginning. Verge. It is known that when you cross that threshold, there's no going back.